Hello, everyone. I'm doing another installment on my YouTube channel. I'm glad to have you with me today. Today, we're going to try to keep this real simple. Um, it seems like there's a big problem because you try to teach somebody something, but they know everything. So you can't teach somebody who knows everything anything. So you have to dumb down your knowledge uh, for their sake so that you don't accidentally kill their spirit. Most people don't understand what this word is about from the Lord. They don't understand why they are in spiritual prisons or a spiritual penal system, which is called the lake of fire. You don't understand why you are in it. So this segment is going to be, hey, ask the Son of God, because a son knows exactly what's going on. A son is going to tell you the truth, and the Son is going to lead you to freedom. Make no mistake of who I am. I express this word, and I challenge anybody to try to come show me a thing or two. Don't think just because I am who I am or I am that I am that I don't take the lowest seat and learn as well, because it tells you in the book, I have many counsels, but I need none of you. It just is what it is, because the book, which is the word of the Lord, walks you through it. If you can see and you can taste, touch, and feel. I mean this in a spiritual manner. That means you have your spiritual keys to get through all these doors that are put up. And I mean there's a multitude of doors that are just there to block your way because of your level of knowledge that you're not allowed to ascend or transcend to the next step in your evolution to becoming a son. So I put out there a bunch of videos. Some of them you may get something from. Some of them might just sound like some guy talking, which is me. And then some of them you might not be able to get anything out of. So what I say is, ask me. Ask me what you truly want to know. But the answer I give you, whether you ask it in a text on the page or whatever they call it, a little post on the page, the YouTube page or the Google Plus page or whatever, or if you request personal information and send me an email, if you ask me a question, I can then know. Because from my standpoint, y'all need to know everything. I mean, y'all need to know nothing because you know everything. So I got to teach you nothing, okay? So, and I know that might sound weird to you, but that's because you know everything. So you don't know nothing. You don't understand nothing. And that's not an insult. I'm telling you what you don't know. It's just a fact. You don't know nothing. Because believe you me, before I took this walk, the way I'm truly was supposed to take it, I came the same way that you guys came through. Because it's a doorway. All doors lead to somewhere. Just because you get into a house don't mean it don't got a back door that leads you out of the house into a backyard. And in that backyard, it could be swimming pools or swimming slides or swing sets or anything to play on. But you still got to go through the house to get access to the backyard. That's what I'm sharing with you today. Now, in order for these guys to have received their power throughout their limited power in this kingdom, it's because they went through the house of Israel. See? But they don't know that this house has many doors, and this is the son of perdition. It is what it is. They are the ones that are, because right now, as it stands, you don't understand that there's many levels of everything. So just because I said this is the son of perdition doesn't mean that this is the only son of perdition. He's not. Okay? So And that's another thing that keeps your eyes closed is that you think what you learned from the time you came into this world is what it is. No, that is this world's reality. God is giving you the spiritual reality of things, the way it's supposed to be, wholeheartedly, no way around it. And if you deviate from that path, it leads you into these houses. Everybody's in somebody's house. Whether you just here and trying to live your life or whatever the case may be, you're in somebody's house. You just don't understand that you're in somebody's house. You're in the house of a goat. And I mean, like the list goes on. The house of Molech. If you watching all this TV and stuff and listening to this music without understanding, you're in the house. You're in the house with them. Now, God will call this a form of fornication. The Father, He will call this fornication. But everybody is so hell-bent on what is in their pants, you can't see past it. Can't none of y'all see past it. Watch me prove it. You think you a man or a woman because of what's in your pants. So, for me being ascended to who I am, it allows me to see that, okay, it allows me to see that I'm in darkness if I believe I'm a man or a woman. So it leads me to find a light in darkness, which is to ask a question. What do you mean I'm not a man? What do you mean I'm not a woman? If I'm not that, what am I? That's why it says, seek ye out of the book and read. Because you were given a covering as soon as you fell out into this place. As soon as you came out your mama's womb, what you would call your mom's womb, into this place, you was given a covering. And everybody thought it was the covering of God, but if you was born in America, it was not, okay, the covering. It was, yeah, that wasn't it. That's all I'm trying to tell you. You got covered with the covering of other nations that came to this place. And, they did what they did to the Indians or the Native Americans, I'd rather put it that way, the natives to this place, because it wasn't even called America. They named it America. And that's also a part of your sins. Your sins is your naming stuff. You don't know what the names of things are, yet you go out to name stuff. Now, let me tell you something foolish about this man down here. And this is also proof. And actually, I'm about to give you a weapon to go fight with if you're a fighter. When they name things on the earth, the original beings down here name things on the earth, they have comparable names, names you can understand. When the ones that took over began to name things, their naming convention is not normal. They name it 067-195L9 or something like that, or something stupid. That is because they are not supposed to be your leaders to begin with. This is how you start to see. This is what helps you see. Because it's not named according to the way the Father named it. All right? And that's all it boils down to is who you believe. You believe this being that calls himself a man down here, your friends, your neighbors, your aunts, your uncles, your moms and dads, or like I like to say, so-called, because they were born into sin just like you. They are called what their parents told them they are called. But you don't remember the story about when things pass down the line. You start the story in portion A, and by the time it gets to the end of the line in portion Z, the whole story is messed up. You can't even find where the story got messed up at and things of that nature. Well, what makes you think that's different over time? Because during our travel through this space-time continuum, it left us in periods of darkness, dark knowledge that was of other beings that was down here. So they don't have the translation of what the words man and woman mean according to God. This is why you have to seek ye out of the book and read. This is how I found myself. This is how I know who I am today. This is why I know who the son of perdition is today. I know about the mark of the beast. There is nothing you can ask me that the Father did not teach me through this word. Nobody can tell you this stuff, but you won't listen. That's all I'm trying to say. Nobody can tell you, but you won't listen. Nobody understands, but you won't listen to nobody. This is your fallen sin on you, and this is a judgment. But in order for things to try to, because you're not done being judged till you're done, till you're dead, till you're gone, till you're out of here. That's when you're done being judged. So what you have now is an opportunity to wake up to this knowledge. The knowledge is what saves you. Because you can easily say, "Oh, I believe in Jesus." What does belief mean? That means you said something was going to happen, and I'm trusting in all my thoughts, all my heart, all my being that things are going to happen the way you said they're going to happen, because there's a cause and effect. So the cause is because you're doing stuff wrong according to this word, these things are going to happen. And these other things that seem to be secret and revelation, this is all stuff I couldn't believe the lies that niggas told me since I was first born here and could understand what the beings around me was teaching me. I fell for it too. I was just following them. Look, man, I don't even mean no harm, but that's Molech right there. Y'all don't even see it. It's an owl, man. The big picture is an owl. You just don't see it. Oh, man, like when you sit far back and just look at it, don't try to make out the lions and the candlesticks and stuff. It's an owl. This is Molech, man. Pay attention to what you're doing. And you don't even know, like, it's stuff you don't know, like the Demon Legion. You don't know about the Demon Legion is the lions, who call themselves lions down here. Oh, man, y'all, it's so much y'all don't know. And none of the animals, none of the beings that called themselves these beings was actually what we call them today. Because in the original spirit of God, which the spirit of God would be the spirit of heaven, his spirit that he keep trying to get to come to earth. Because like it's written, as in earth, so let it be, as in heaven, so let it be on the earth. As in heaven, so on earth. You bringing the kingdom to earth. The kingdom is descending upon you right now, but you can't see it. You don't understand it. You have no understanding whatsoever. So you're being locked out. Oh man, I'm telling you, like, I'm old. I'm an older gentleman. I had to take this information to the birth entities that birthed me into this place, and explain to them that yes, we call you down here mom and dad, but up there that's not what you are. Oh, so everybody ain't going to heaven? No, you are not. I'm inviting you into heaven right now, but you can't even get in because you don't understand my speech. Like, I'm speaking English. Y'all, everybody is so focused on because the Lord speaks many waters. Again, you don't understand what that means. The voice of many waters is nations. If you read Revelation, he tell you exactly what waters are. So when you speak the voice of many nations, that nation is not a specific language, like what we call it down here. Those nations have attributes to them that only that nation will understand. For instance, I'm black. If you come to live where I live, straight from, I don't even want to pass the suburbs because the suburb people come down here and buy drugs and stuff. So past the suburbs. I'm talking about you from the mansions. You in the mansion area. I don't even know where mansions are in my area, in my state right now, because I don't get out much because I study this word. This is where my focus is, so I can bring you the truth like I'm supposed to be, and to remove your chains and set you free from these entities that like to lock you up. I mean, they're locking your mind down. They are putting you in spiritual prison, a spiritual lake of fire, and you don't know it. This is when you're an everyday person, you are on fire, burning. You have no clue or understanding. And that's like when the Lord, my Father, told me to put, like, if you come up against me, you know, I'm to burn you with the fire proceeding from my mouth. Everything I'm speaking to you is fire because it's the truth. And the fire is I'm burning your laws up with spiritual law. Hey, because the Lord said, is my tongue not a fire? What? So look, the Lord's tongue is the fire. I don't know what the hell we've been reading. I think we've been reading but not comprehending. And then the sense that was common is not common anymore because there is no more common sense. It's gone. The things that you really need to know in life, it ain't there no more for you. It's gone because everybody's too technologically dependent. So, I mean, that is another form of hell. So, in order for you to come up, you have to hear me. If you can hear me, I can bring you up. If you can't hear me and you want to dwell on the ground, playing in the dirt with your blood and your flesh, you do that because, you know, I'm spirit. I came from the earth and transcended to spirit so that you can see how a bridegroom is supposed to look. Because the bridegroom simply means that you have all the knowledge of the earth, or I'm sorry, no, I ain't going to say all, but you have earth knowledge and you have spiritual, heavenly knowledge. That's what makes you a bridegroom. And I don't eat off the tables. I just listen because I have to sort through it. See who's spitting bullshit and see who's spitting truth. And when you find out that 95% of these jokers that say they got some truth, they really don't have the truth. You know, there's more than one level of truth. That's why it's called that's why the Father is called the Most High, because He is the highest truth that you can receive down here. But you're not hearing me. Only not can hear me. So right now I'm really just speaking to nobody, but nobody knows what's going on. Because nobody should be like me and have this understanding. But y'all don't understand that nobody is an entity. Nobody. I'm sorry, man. But when you get the understanding about what's really going on down here, everybody talking about, oh, America's going to be this, that, and the third. It's got to start here. You don't understand. Everybody's looking for this violent end all to be all. That's your judgment. When you end up in that calamity, that's because you put something on you that you weren't supposed to be wearing as a covering. You put man on you as a covering. You can't do that because if you put man on you as a covering, man is a specific entity who has the highest judgment down here. He gets judged the most highest and the harsh down here because he is your leader. He is the one that led you into your spiritual captivity. He is the one that led you into your job. Yeah, I said it, your job. Your government worship. Oh, God bless America. God didn't name this place, so how can He bless something He don't care about? Because the world is God's, but individuals with His spirit is what got the reward to judge everything else. Because the spirit is not flesh and blood. That's why it's written, no flesh and blood may enter into the kingdom. Why is that? Is what you call a man flesh and blood? To your knowledge, yes, he is. Because you don't know a man males have heavenly knowledge. That's all male man equal is one having heavenly knowledge. That's it. But y'all want to take it and put, oh, I got this thing in between my legs that dangle when I walk, or I got this hair on my face. You don't know what a face is. You don't know your face is your personality. Like they've been giving us clues to what it was but we never understood it because we was too busy in our own thought process when we was using the terminology. If I tell you you two-faced it, that means you got two separate personalities. So what face was upon the waters that God, when God was around, when God was here, and his face moved upon the waters? Ooh, yeah. Just with that little bit right there, you should know all doctrine, as he said, as the Father said, is going to be destroyed, and there's nothing you can do about it. Because the truth is the most high definition. It is what it is. It's God's definition. So if I made up the word Bangladesh, let's say, even though I know that's a country, you know what? Let's use something, salty swag. Let's say salty swag is a new word or a new saying, and I made it up. The only one you could get that spirit from for salty swag would be me at that moment when I made it up. I'm like, yo, that salty swag. Oh, what's that mean right there? Yo, that your whole personality has some flavor to it. That's what I'm saying. But if you did not hear me say that and give the spirit to that word, then you don't know what it means. You hear somebody say salty swag in California, and you like, oh, I know what that means. And then they got a whole different definition for it because somebody else just so happened to come up with the same word. Or they heard the word but just never knew the definition of it because they heard how it was used but still misusing it and couldn't draw from context clues to grasp the definition. That's what went on in this word. This is why you are being judged. I'm here to free those who want to be free, but if you like your oppressive state or you like being the oppressor, which most of them do, especially in the house of Israel, yo, they gonna oppress the shit out of you. Hold on, it was some Egyptian dudes up here, these scorpions. Like, you don't know what a scorpion is. When you don't know what scorpions and things of that nature is, camels, you don't know who the camels are, you don't know who the lions are. I mean, Israel knows about this stuff. But just being an average person that called themselves a quote-unquote Christian, you ain't going to know what that is. So that's going to lead you down a tunnel of deception. It's going to lead you straight into error. And that error is going to take away your freedoms. Because once you hit that error, you go into the lake of fire. Somebody's going to oppress you. The house of Israel know who oppresses them. Each other, man. Y'all like a bunch of fucking crabs. Ishmaelites, like a bunch of fucking crabs. Like, how you study something and don't know your own judgments? Like, I don't get what y'all been doing. You just want to sit down and let somebody read you something so you can feel good, so you can feel special. You ain't special. You are not special because if you knew anything, you knew that Israel has a year of jubilees. If you know what the Jubilee means, this is why Israel is the only house that is supposed to be teaching this word, because they are allowed to train you through the Most High's word. They're allowed to, but they're supposed to free you in 7 years, which is 7 spiritual years, but you don't know how to count. So I don't even know, man. It's 50 years. It's one Jubilee is 49 years, man. And then I gotta tell you about the 8th day. These days of the week ain't what you think they are, man. Time goes forward. So why you keep looping it back? To spend time as they do on this world is to keep you tethered to this world in such a manner. You can't get free. There's nothing you can do about getting free because you're tied to this world. You think the light in the sky is the sun or the moon and those things up in the sky is the stars. No. No. Remember, as in heaven, so on earth. So what Adam originally called everything, when he first was allowed to name all the things on the planet, because that's what he named, things. He named things. But he didn't name what you call animals today. He was naming the things. You were types of beings on the planet, and your type of being with your spirit in it got a name. So if you was let's say this is an American spirit we carrying, the spirit of the Goat Society. We eat anything, yes we do. And the spirit of this society is the spirit you was born with. That's how come you think fire is that hot stuff that we use to cook food with. You know that's a sin, man. That's sin. All that knowledge is sin. But when you become the bridegroom, you get rewarded because you're supposed to have this knowledge. You're not supposed to teach and do things of the spirit with this knowledge of the earth, which is feminine knowledge. That's all that means. Whether it's a female dog, a female goat, a female lamb, ram, female anything, female cricket, if you will, whatever it is. If it's female, it's referring to its state, how much it can eat, and what it eats. So a lion eat meat. So you need to find out what meat is. All right. Goats eat vegetation. Lambs eat vegetation. You know, so you got to find out who that is. Because God said Judah is his pleasant plant. But y'all, I don't know what the hell y'all reading. His words stand forever. That means when you heard that Judah is his pleasant plant, everything plant related, trees on down, refers into the house of Judah. Well, I don't understand why you don't get this. He said, the trick is, he keep telling us, my word lasts forever. His word means from the beginning of the world, when his word came, to the end of the world, when his word comes again, it's always going to be the same. No matter what, the word is going to have the same spirit, the same definition on that word when you get it. So now, this allows you to walk through many waters. It allows you to walk on water. Because you don't know what water is. You think water is that stuff that go in your body. Not this body. Because everything is done to the Spirit of God. What did God call water? Then you got your answer. Through the whole book. And that's what you got to do. You got to go back and read the whole book all over again with your new answers. Now, there's 364 suns that make a year. Adam was the first son. Okay? Jesus was the last son that is written of, that we know of. Alright? And that last son is the one that is we're all supposed to be born out of. That's our day. That's our year to be born. But you guys are, I don't know. And yeah, I mean to be very insulting because, dude, you are in the technological age where all information is at your fingertips, and if you are too stupid to go in and start looking this information up, you can't really look for definitions in the earth like your regular dictionaries. Don't do that. That's going to lead you into an error. If you don't know what something is, that's called darkness. Let the Lord shine the light later on. You ain't going to get the answers to answer all the spirits that Solomon used. You're not going to get the spirits or his answers or his definitions, his keys. You're not going to get them reading his book. You have to go. Now, he'll have some keys for his book, but most of his keys is going to be for other books that came before his, so that you can always unlock the previous book. What Jesus did was gave us the keys to all the books. He died once for all of us, because every time you went into a new house, you died. Like your spirit that was on you died. It changed. So if you was of the earth and then you went into a Catholic house, you died. You killed that old man, fleshly spirit. Well, you still fleshly, but you supposed to quote unquote kill that spirit. Then you went from Christianity from Catholicism into Christianity. You got to kill that spirit. of the Catholicism. So that will allow you to grow. And this is, I gotta go. I'm probably going to do a part two of this, but pay attention to what spirit really is, because you physically are the soul. You're the being. Now, to get spirit is to add that spirit to you as you are today. So you're going to add the spirit of what water is to you. So now you have two definitions of spirit. You have water as what we drink on the earth as a spirit, and then you have the heavenly definition of the spirit, which is a nation. The waters is nations, man. Read Revelations. He'll give you an answer. Unless righteousness, no peace, because there ain't no peace for you. I refuse to let there be peace for anybody teaching my Father's word incorrectly. So unless righteousness, no peace. In righteousness and peace to you guys who picked this word up and do what you're supposed to do.